Talk that talk, Red.
I need the left side and the right side to stand up. I said stand up. Uncle Tom's been selling, always looking to befriend them. Ain't no telling what they do for that cracker. And them boys be on your block running your building illegal stops. They beat you down and they still call for backup. That cracker cracking his whip. That shit you scared it make me feel some type of way. Break my women and my kids, I feel some type of way. Told us Jesus gonna make us feel some type of way. Is it cause my homie's black you feel some type of way? Some type of way. Bleach they skin, they white today. Heard you hate your natural hair, you feel some type of way. Mr. Runaway, killer's master with my title say. Every time we do this thing, you know they feel some type of way. Hey, some type of way. Hey, hey, some type of way. Yeah. Some type of way. Every time we do this thing, you know we feel some type of way. Hey, hey.
Going nowhere. Church of the Spirit.
Pastor Green, Deacon Doc Mock, United Front.
This ain't trap music. This ain't rap music. This that African insurrection, fight to be black music. We don't sling crack music. We don't kill blacks music. This Jew ain't the real Hebrew, fall back on that small hat music. My flow, Holocaust Heimies. You the source of all grimy, spineless and slimy, perverted devil claim me from Zion. You guilty for lying and capturing lions. I got proof you funded the dungeons of trained Africans captured and shipped us on floating zoos. Hitler's Hasidics, to me there's no difference. You was all part of the parasitic lynching of the African spirit. Dig it. Your graven minutes, cause you run corporations with a slave of spirit, incorporating the tactics of your forefathers is wicked. My fingers pen this with the pain of days of cotton picking. They whip the babies for not making weight like a competition. If Jesus came from the skies white, I grab a weapon, cause there's a black God enslaved needing to be freed in the heavens. Stepping fetches is dead upon intercessions. You cowards lost your balls like turned over possessions. A recession of manhood won't bring us progression to stand good. My intentions are bloody a clan hood. It's only a black man could. My position is solid, the evolution of onyx. Attack of the ball heads past the green dot and call it Muhammad. The focus is freedom through information and inspiration. And when I'm smashing MCs, don't worry, that's just the entertainment. Throw up your fists. Throw up your fists. Throw up your fists. Throw up your fists. Crackers is mad. You dig them a ditch. Crackers get mad. You dig them a ditch. Throw up your fists. Throw up your fists. Throw up your fists. Throw up your fists. Crackers get mad. You dig them a ditch. Crackers get mad. You dig them a ditch. Christian, Islamic, Buddhist, or Masonic, no matter your prophet. This cracker ain't honest. He had us in bondage, raping your mama right in front of your eyelids. He had us in bondage, raping your mama right in front of your eyelids. What if I told you Jesus of Nazareth was up the block staggering, being beat to death by Romans, wearing badges? Would you come by the masses then to defend your Lord and Savior? Is all the talk for pretend? Cause the spirit of the caress lies within the black men locked in the pen. I'm at the pulpit with a full clip, feel the pain from the bullwhip. My skin cracks, my back bleeds, my black bleeds. The stats show cracker vaccines harm black seeds. Facts believe it's not rap for green, red, black, and green. What Garvey seen to unite the team across the seas. Throw up your fists. Throw up your fists. Throw up your fists. Throw up your fists. Crackers is mad. You dig them a ditch. Crackers get mad. You dig them a ditch. Throw up your fists. Throw up your fists. Throw up your fists. Throw up your fists. Cracks get mad. You dig 'em a ditch. Cracks get mad. You dig 'em a ditch.
A side.
Peace and Black Power family. Welcome to another episode of Knowledge Born. What's the Science? After Midnight Edition, broadcasting live nightly, I should say, here on Do Knowledge Radio. Make sure you go to www.youtube.com/Do the Knowledge Radio. That's DOTHAKNOWLEDGERADIO. Check us out at our website, e-commerce site, www.doknowledgeradio.com. Check out our products and our services at www.dtgempoweryou.com. You can follow this award-winning platform on Twitter at KnowledgeBorn15 on Twitter. Again, that's at KnowledgeBorn15 on Twitter and on Instagram. You can follow this award-winning platform at KnowledgeBorn357 on Instagram. Okay? Looking to be a guest on the show, we have paid interview slots. And also, if you're looking to do your own series here on the broadcast, you can do so by emailing me at donaldsradio@gmail.com. If you want to support our community outreach initiative and you're on our YouTube channel right now, you can do so via the super chat, or if not, you can make a donation with this ticker going across the screen as you see it: Cash App, $ Knowledge Won't Lie, or PayPal.me/Do the Knowledge Radio. Many of you are aware of our community outreach programs. Definitely would love your support with those endeavors. And I believe that's it. So without any further ado, it becomes my honor and privilege at this time to introduce and present to others the reason that the people come here. The reason, okay? Midnight, that they set their alarm clocks and get out of their beds and they go to their devices, not to be divisive, but to be educated and to be motivated and inspired, and to get that work from this uncompromising, unapologetic, unbothered warrior, soul sister, Sass, a.k.a. Ain't nobody dope as me, okay? Ain't nobody. I think I said it too fast. I gotta slow it down in my outcast tone, like, you know what I'm saying?
Shalom, can I be heard?
Shalom. Yes,
Shalom.
you can.
Shalom.
Shalom. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good. I get you.
Word. Black Power to Suave.
Shalom, Black Power Suave. Boss.
What's good? How you?
It's late. I'm good. When you getting old, you know what that means.
Word.
It's late.
Word.
You know? Yep. That's all I have to say about that.
That's it. That's it.
I watched Creed too.
Oh.
Yeah, I did. I had to force myself to watch that. Yeah. So I put forth some effort, you know.
Appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? All you gotta do now is watch.
Nope, not yet.
I'm not even gonna utter it. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I'm good.
Not yet,
You know,
but I will.
proud though. I'm proud.
Hmm.
Proud. So at daylight, at daybreak, I mean, at after the sun is up, and it's actually the second, we're celebrating Johnny Cochran's born day. Okay,
Right, right.
one of the greatest black men of our time to walk the earth. Okay, that was it. I have nothing else to say.
Oh, that's it. Oh,
I just wanted to let that breathe right there. I needed that to breathe. Okay.
okay.
I think we gotta do a tribute. You know what I'm saying? I think we gotta do a little tribute. I think he deserves a tribute.
Yeah, why not? Right.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. It's people that's free and that's you know that are ancestors and free that are still amongst us. Well, free is relative, right? You're not further behind enemy lines. Okay,
Relative.
relative. Yeah. Thanks to that warrior mind of that soul brother, that solidad brother. You understand?
Mm.
After he made his transition, it was like all hope was lost. It's like, oh man, you can't get no other lawyer. Johnny ain't here. You can't. Man, they said that was the most recognized lawyer on the face of the earth. Okay, around the world.
I don't know. You think so?
That's what they said. I
Oh,
could see that.
I know that's what they
I
said.
could see that. I could see that. The highest, most prolific trial that the world saw was the O.J. Simpson trial, and he was right there whooping them crackers' ass. So eloquent, so calm, so reserved, so balanced back and forth, just like you know, just there in his element. Game time, game time. Geronimo Pratt came home because of that man. He came home. You know what I'm saying? He got a chance to be on this side in a space where he was supposed to be doing life. He got a chance to come home, be with his fam. Orenthal, the same thing. Tupac, the same thing. Diddy, same thing. Michael Jackson, same thing. They got a chance to come home. And he put together a case that is now a talking point by groups of people, a case for reparations. Sue the United States government for reparations, not petition, not ask, not beg, sue. That's iconic. But I saved my Johnny Cochran speech for Johnny Cochran's tribute.
Cool.
Okay. You can tell I'm a little fired up, right? I just had a little, midnight reflection on the day
Mhm.
prior, so I'm still in that little place. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Did you see it? Hold on.
Part of it. Vision, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you
Some of
think?
it. Not.
What you think? I
Some of.
only care what you think. So if you don't
Yeah,
like it,
but
I ain't doing it no more. Okay. If you say,
well,
yo, that was whack, son, I'm cutting it off.
I can't comment on it because I didn't watch the full thing. But
You said it was whack.
I said.
That's what's up. It's whack. So
I
hey, yo, I
said.
don't know what to tell y'all.
What?
I ain't doing it no more. That was it.
Okay.
Washed up. Done after day 2.
Mhm.
Nah, I'm bugging. Bugging. Why? So let's talk about this movie. This movie was you know, what you think
It's
about the movie?
horrible. The
First
movie
of
was
all,
horrible.
it was horrible. I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Oh, you mean to say
That
more?
was it.
Huh?
That's all you got. Horrible
I
thing.
need to.
I
I
hyped
need to
out.
say more. That movie was horrible.
Everything that was wrong with Creed 2.
Oh, I,
Go.
the whole thing was wrong. Like,
From beginning to end, it was
yeah, the
done.
storyline. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't understand how. I don't know that Russian was fighting a certain way the first time, and then the second time he wasn't. Um, that didn't make any sense to me. So that was for the movie and stuff. And I was like, that just made it corny. And that's all I have to say about that. As far as like the overall movie and stuff.
So nothing you saw in the movie was good to you. Nothing at all.
No. Mm-mm. You asked me if anything was good. No. Like
That's
what?
what's up.
Like for example, what?
There's no example. It can't be an example. If you said everything that you saw was whack, then it was whack.
I mean, it was I don't know. It was whack. What I got out the movie was that they set up the Russian to get beat or whatever. That's how it seemed in the end. Like the black guy who set the whole thing up. It was as if um he set up. Um, I don't know if I could be wrong, whatever, but that's what I got out of it. Now, oh boy, where do I begin other than that? My God, like, um, that movie was terrible. I mean,
Did you
I'm not
see?
even.
Did you see part 1?
No, I don't think I needed to see that because part two was enough. Like, I mean, I can pick and I did pick it apart, but I mean, I really don't even need to go there because it was just so unrealistic. to say the least. I mean, this Russian guy was was a killer, and that fool must he should have lost his life the way he was getting. He was getting messed up, like you know what I'm saying? Like he
He
was
did die, didn't he?
he
Didn't he
couldn't.
die?
No, no, he had some ribs broken and top knocked off, but
He
that's
died
about
and
it.
came back from the dead, didn't
Well, I mean, if you want to call it that,
he? What else is it?
I mean, this guy could not be touched. Like he was boxing him, but he wasn't touching him. Like, but then the second fight, like he was he was making impact, and I'm like, how is this possible? Like, I mean, come on, train out in the desert with them essays. Like, I mean, come on. What it made his punch, his lands harder, or I mean, all right, let me just leave that alone. I'm gonna go with the um let me see, where else can I go? The guy who I said that set up the Russian to fail, his that story, that wasn't good character development over there. That could have that could have been better. This fool was like being real disrespectful, like talking about his girlfriend or whatever. Like, I mean, no, that was just terrible. All right, I'm gonna move on. I'm trying. I really am trying. The cool part of the movie was I said, "Who is that?" I was like, "Oh my god, that's Dolph Lundgren." Oh my god, like yeah,
That was it? That was the cool part?
that that was a cool part. Yeah, that's Dolph Lundgren. Yes. Um, if you grew up, yeah, never mind. When I was growing up, Dolph Lundgren was a big deal. Arnold. He had his own son. Now his story was interesting. Like I found that to be interesting. Like he lost to Rocky and stuff, and damn, I mean he lost everything. Like, and I like what he said because I mean it brings perspective to what's important, right? He said I lost everything. He said first thing he said was my country. The second thing was um his respect, and third his wife. That's what he said. He didn't say anything about
Mm-hmm.
no money, living the life, live nothing like that. It
Mm-hmm.
was his country, his respects, and his wife behind that humiliation of being uh, dominated, knocked out by someone who they perceive to be weaker.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I thought that was really cool. Not in the fact that that's what Russians say or anything. It's just that that's what's important for real, for real. So, um, like across the board. So,
You didn't see part one, right?
no, but the
So
but no,
you
I
didn't
don't I
see
don't need
his
to see that.
you didn't see his story.
No, I don't need to see that. No.
No.
I needed
That
to see
matters.
that to watch part 2.
his story at least, so you would know.
I know his story. His father was killed, and he was raised without a
That's it.
dad.
Huh? That means nothing in
It
none
means
of
a
our
lot.
culture. It
No,
means
I
every.
mean, we refer. No, I'm referring to Creed Part 2 because I didn't see
He's
Part
he was
1.
a he was an illegitimate child. He wasn't a child from uh, the wife. He was accepted by Felicia Rashad, who took him in as a son from a group home. He hated his father, but he learned how to fight from watching his father fight. He never met his father. He looked at himself like a mistake. He was abandoned. He was lost. And he was fighting illegally. So he went from all of that to coming into the place where his father trained, and his father was a champion. He wasn't even using his name. He wanted to go on it on his own way. He was wayward, and he was brought back in, and he learned because Rocky owed a debt to his father. So there was an exchange that took place. He owed a debt to his father. He's alive. He was victorious because of what Apollo, the creed that he lived by. Like the thing was creed, the word. Did you keep your word? Were you true to your word? Were you true to your name? Were you true to your family? All of those things that was abandoned on the other side made that fight hard. So you say you're going to be a champion, you got to go through these trials and tribulations to be a champion. You can't be no paper champion. You got to beat the best in order to be champion. So, with the errors of the past, with Rocky, and Mr. T beat the shit out of him, the Russian beat the hell out of him, all that, all of that, he found a way to win and fight through all that to win, to be a champion. But he still watched the champion who made him a champion die in that ring. So all of that comes out in part two. But he has a journey, he has a story. He didn't just come out of nowhere. He has a journey, he has a story. And his story is more akin to our story. The hunger comes from the other side, but there's a hunger over here too. And this is what it was illustrated throughout both films. In order, in order for them to be a champion, all they need is a little edge, and that edge was that fucking juice. Just like with his father. The edge was the juice. But the juice don't got shit to do with the heart and the will and the endurance to continue to get up and to continue to fight. He ain't been knocked down. Just like his father, he was cut for the first time. He bled for the first time. And the son of the person that was his corner man was in the corner, but it wasn't complete. So everything was kind of working together in regards to this hero's journey. If you're gonna be a hero, you better have a villain. You got to, and the villain is yourself. And all of those conflicts that were there, all of them were there. Him with his woman, they had a child. She was deaf. You know what I'm saying? Like the biggest fear, he had to confront it. Going back into the ring after shit, he would have knocked his fucking head off if he'd have hit him again while he was down. It wouldn't have been no other. So coming back after defeat, he had lost. He didn't win in the first Creed. So he redeemed that, and he was the champion. He fought the dude, but the dude wasn't in the same kind of fighting shape that he was when he fought him in the first one. So it was kind of like he was a paper champ. He's like, Lord man, because son had knocked his ass out in the first Creed, knocked him out like in the gym and took his car. So he was coming back for his respect and his name on that way. So this is how the movie starts. And then it progresses into, okay, this girl been with me through all this shit. So he asked Rocky, how did you propose to Adrian? He tells him all of this stuff. So he builds up this courage and this confidence that's there. He's a world champion, but he's still not in that position within himself because he didn't have them kind of relatable experiences nor no examples before him. So these are all like they kind of like intangible. They ain't really movie related. Like the movie illustrates the point of the development of the psyche of the young black man when he is not connected to his ancestral lineage versus when everything is in place. When everything is in place, like all of the little small details that are there. And on the other side, his trainer, who's supposed to be training, he's battling cancer. He ain't seen his son or his grandson in forever. You know, he don't got enough courage, this former world champion, to pick up a damn phone and call his son or to go see his grandson. You know, he lost his wife, he lost Mick, he lost Paulie, all of them people that was in his life, that was around him, his village, that continue to make him great and make him persevere. So all of the coming back, and then to be face to face with somebody that you never wanted to see again, a reminder of everything that went wrong in your life and everything that went right in your life. So these worlds colliding together. The story was, was good on both sides, but they had to collide in the ring where it's supposed to take place. That's the only place. And Muhammad Ali said that they made that character offer him. He told Sylvester Stallone, "You owe me a damn check for that." Like publicly, like you owe me some money for Apollo Creed. That's me. You understand what I'm saying? So like all of these things together kind of make the background of the story, epic. Ryan Coogler made Creed 1, and this was real personal to him. Real personal with his relationship with his father and how it translates in the screen. His incapable. He does part 2. So it's not the same influence as part 1, but it's his own influence trying to stay with the storyline, but carving out a space to see like what's most important. Ancestral connection, a connection to your elder council, a protector and provider for your family. Passing these lessons on to the new generation. The little girl was crying until he started punching that heavy bag. He went to that gym, that place that he swore away from going. Even training underwater, that's Muhammad Ali 100%. So like all of these things kind of come together with, all of the worlds colliding in the psyche of us as a people personified by the creed that we live by versus the creed that they live by. And it collides in the ring, and it can only be one victor. So I just think the other parts there was like some elements that was cool. The movie is what it is, you know what I'm saying? It was going to end the way that it was going to end. I seen that because we've seen all of the series all the way coming, but there were just small elements that kind of put everything together from a cultural perspective, from a way of life that practitioners live. So I think that was more interesting than the movie itself. So when it looked together for me like that, one moment where everybody was all connected, that whole family was connected, one ring versus, Drago coming to the ring, little Drago, they're wanting the acceptance of his father that he didn't get, to hell with his mother and to hell with all of those people. Like he just really wanted that acceptance from his father that was still living, which might as well have been dead because he was wallowing in what he had lost. And from what he had lost, he was trying to give vicariously through his son. And when his son was hurt, I think that was the first time that he recognized him to be the son. And then he remembered that he killed a man in the ring. I don't know about conscience or any of that shit with them. I'm saying in regards to trying to make that look empathetic. It was pathetic, but that was like a little push over there. So for him to throw in the towel and then to be training with his son at the end, like there was things that was there. So just little elements in there. That ring walk though, with that sister on the microphone, you know, walking in, that was a different dude. That wasn't the same dude. That it wasn't the same family. That went through everything. And they came out on the other side victorious. They was victorious before they ever went in that ring. The ring was a formality.
Okay.
I was waiting for okay, well still whack. Okay, anyway.
No, you just went.
Anyway.
You just went through the whole thing, so it's done.
You ain't see none of that shit I saw. Huh?
What in the movie?
Yeah.
You talking about in this movie?
Yeah,
I
in
didn't see
this
Creed
movie.
Part One, so I don't know
Well I'm
what you're
saying Creed
referring
2.
to. But you related to Part Two, and I never saw Creed Part One, so I can't
Well, I
comment on
mean,
that. I
it
can only
was a small
comment
part.
on.
It was a small part. It was I think, that desert scene was another redefining moment because he died in the desert scene again, and he had to come back from the dead. And nobody could help him. He had to help himself. He had to find that way because he was out there halfway in and halfway out. So he came together in that part to be able to find that way. Like he had to be able to last. So he in a place where he had to climatize and he had to go from hell. So he had to come back from hell. That damn desert heat out there, and that kind of training. And you saw those cats like we talked about those them Sahara Africans. They ain't the same as everybody else. So they showed those guys that lived out there like nothing. They was like, who the fuck is this dude? The world champion. Yeah, that don't mean shit. They ain't hear none of that over there. So he had to fight for everything over there. So it was a different kind of training modality versus going in the gym. So it was a different space.
They only had to go with that because Drago's son was trained the way Rocky was in Russia, so they had to go with the desert thing, and I was not happy about that because
No,
I recognized that right off the bat. So for me, it just I know what you're saying and everything. You're in the psychology of it, but I don't
I'm being
look at that movie
philosophical
like
over
that.
here. I thought you would appreciate that. Me being
Kinda.
philosophical.
No, you're being more. You're into his psyche, like like you're It was terrible. They had no choice but to go to the most extreme way of training. And yeah, we talked about
Had
that.
to.
That is the most
Yeah.
extreme way. It is. And they had to go with that because that's more extreme than you know than how Europeans live. That
Yeah,
would
he
be
wasn't going to
the
find himself
con-
in the gym. Like he had to find and face himself and defeat himself and come back from it. Like you're not gonna find that in the gym. Like you used to the gym. That's one level. And
no
you're
he
dealing with somebody on that juice. But like even just on his way of their living was completely different. He was plushed out over there. Like he was working in that cold and shit. Like and they was punking him and all that shit. Like it wasn't nothing. It meant nothing. When a buddy came to him with that truck and he said, "When I say run, you run." Well, you know what I'm saying? Like when I see this, that, like he lived that way. Like that was regular life. That wasn't training for him. That was his life. So that kind of space, nobody could contend with that in the ring. So he had to find a place for him. He had to be faster. He had to be stronger. He had to last longer. He had to find another part of him to be able to be victorious in that ring. He was just taking him punch. He punched him in the face. He just looked at him like he ain't even touch it.
yeah, he didn't tell you ain't touch him. That's what I'm saying. He wasn't even touching him behind the second in the
Yeah.
second he's touching him. Like that makes no sense to me. And he had to, like I said, they had to put that scene in there, a stark contrast that would be comparable to the way that the Russians train. So
Right.
it's basically I don't know if it was cultural appropriation, but see, I use that right. I don't know if it's culture if that I would consider that to be cultural appropriation. I probably would. You go into a damn desert, um, putting a black person in a desert and in that type of environment to make them strong. So I mean that right there was symbolic. I do understand that, but they had to do that because he couldn't train like how Rocky trained, and Rocky understood that you have to train like them in order to try to beat them, right?
Hmm.
But because they showed Victor that way, they couldn't possibly have him train. Have uh, Adonis to train the same way. So I don't know if I like that, but I mean, according to how the movie went, it had to go like that. Um, Also, the movie was portraying how this guy had it easier. I mean, he had it harder than um, Adonis. Victor had it harder in the world than Adonis did. Um,
Hmm.
that right there was, you know, uh, I understand it and I get that, but you're in your own damn country,
Right. Right.
and when your own people put you out, that's a whole nother thing. That's something different than uh being
Kidnapped and brought to a place and
yeah,
expected to dwell.
yeah,
Right.
mhm,
Yeah. Not
yeah.
fold under the pressure, all of that. Like, yeah, yeah.
Right, but people don't recognize it as different things, as two different things. They'll say that's the same thing. So like if you have hardship, it would be the same as what ours is. If people view it as that, that's why they say that all lives matter, and they'll come out and they'll say those things and have sympathy for other people because they see it as the same thing. We know it isn't,
Right.
because Draco, he said it. He was ostracized by his own people. Why? Because he lost, and this is something that they hold to a high regard. You cannot lose against the enemy. Like, and if you do, you're no longer gonna fit in this. And that's just the way they're set up. That's their setup. That doesn't go for everybody else. everybody, but that's how it works in their country. This is what they presented in the movie,
Right.
right? So once again, you find some sympathy for this devil, right? You
Right.
see where he
Right.
came from, right?
Right.
He was born from a man. I swear, Bridget Nielsen is a damn man. Like, the hell is that? I was like, oh my god, like she was somewhat cute in Beverly Hills Cop. You know, she was young. You know, before she got
Yeah.
tuned up and got on meth and stuff. But I'm looking at like, oh my god,
Yeah.
and yeah. So they were from high society, and they trained to be, you know, they train hard in order to, um, and I get that. I get that. I know some Polish people, and they'll tell me in a hot second that in their country they got to work hard, or they cannot, or they will not be taken seriously. So I understand it completely, but that's their culture.
Right.
You know, they have their own intercaste system, and this is all white folks. Like, it's really twisted. It's weird, but I think all peoples and all cultures have something like to that effect. You know, but when you comparing yourself to the so-called black person in America, and you know, you get sympathy and shit. Like, did I say the S word? It's annoying. So they gave this man a heart. Rocky said he was raised in hate. You know, he was trained in hate. Like, all of a sudden, like, his heart was, you start seeing his heart at the end. And I'm like, look at this here. I knew this was going to happen. He saw his mama walk away, and he just started turning into a baby, and his father saw it, and he had to stop the fight. So I didn't like the movie. Um, there was a lot of things in it that I didn't like. You know, the movie, the character development was off. There was characters in it that didn't make any sense. Um, I don't understand why you would cry if your baby was deaf. Like, I didn't understand that. I know it's disappointing when your child has a disability, but really, I mean, um, the mother was deaf, so deaf. So it was a possibility anyway. I don't know how you feel about that, but I'm like, okay. They made it a point to stress that thing. Her being deaf. I don't know what that had to do with anything. Even from the beginning, it was just weird to
Right.
me.
Yeah, that was
I don't
strange.
think it needed. Yeah, I don't think it needs to be in the movie like that. But and she was a singer or something, and
Yeah, like and hiding it from the mother, like you know what I mean? Like it was just like weird. Like, are y'all grown? Are y'all children? Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's just it was a bunch of that
I
stuff.
felt
That
that. I felt that from Adonis. Like, I had to ask myself, like, why is he acting like so childlike? You can't tell. You like somebody tell this fool that he
right,
gonna lose. Yeah, you gonna lose. This man gonna kill you,
right,
idiot. Did you see your father die? Like, they're afraid to tell him that. Yeah, you gonna get smoked
right.
because they're afraid he gonna cry all over the place and I mean he was just being real nasty and rude. And then he was a damn sore loser, and he's like not even dealing with his girlfriend, and
Yeah,
she's
it was it's
pregnant and
all of
everything.
that turmoil and discord that come along with it. Like that's an old story. It's the same story being told over and over again with different, you know, faces in it. It's the same story. It's our story. You know, that's the that was the point of it. Like you can you can identify the characters in the story. You know, on that pathway. So it was just interesting. Like you know, a black man makes the movie, and the black man can't win without the Italian in his corner. You know, he almost died.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah, that's
like he almost dies with just the black man in the corner. You know,
yeah,
like his wife don't support him, the mama don't show, like this all of this stuff off, and he's supposed to have been at the ringside. He said he's not going there, but he's trying to coach him through the TV. Like it's weak, you know. Like these are all of the other little parts where I'm like, oh, this shit is retarded, you know. Um, but going to the graveyard to,
they love
like
graveyards, don't they, in these movies? Like, what's that about?
I mean, like, what depending on your, whatever your, your thing is, like, that was just, to me, it was that all that shit was interesting to me.
Yeah, I mean, and then once again, I mean, Rocky can't get along with his son. Like, I don't even understand that. Like, I mean, this is carried on since Rocky Balboa. I mean, come on.
Right,
What has
right,
he got to be upset with his father about? Nothing.
right, right. Nothing, nothing.
Rocky was like the nicest guy ever in these movies, right? So what
Right.
beef you got with your own father? That was, I don't I mean, that would be a question if I spoke to Sylvester
Yeah,
Stallone.
I
What are you
mean, how did you
doing?
grow up?
Yeah.
Like where the fuck did you live at? You know what I mean? Like all
Adrian
this,
was his mother. I don't understand what his beef
right?
was like. And when I saw that in the movie, I was like, really? Like, we
And then
saw
he's
this nonsense in
standoffish.
Rocky
Like the
Balboa.
part of it, he's standoffish, so it cost him another generation in the process of him being standoffish.
His
You
son
know,
was a baby, a big old baby.
right? So
It's disappointing when you produce children like that. That's what I would be upset about, not the fact that the child deaf. But anyway, whatever. It's I know they had to like drag those types of things in to bring I don't know what you call that. I know in writing you have to bring in those different character arcs. I understand the importance of them, but this movie was terrible. It
I
was
think they
awful.
tried to tell
It
it.
was awful.
I think they had some kind of constraints too. I don't think they had like free reign on
I
it
mean,
either.
this is a Sylvester Stallone movie. I don't understand why it was so bad. Like, the screenplay was by him and someone else. Saw the credits. I'm like, eh, you know. Rocky Balboa was even good. The way that it went. Um, all the Rockies were good, but this I didn't see the first Creed. But this,
We got two celebrations today.
hmm?
We got John Cochran and Nat Turner. Hmm. Yeah.
Johnny got a lot of these criminals off. These black criminals.
And Nat
when
Turner
I
said
when
a
I
lot
watched
of
the
other
video, I was
criminals
like,
back to hell where
I
they
was
come
like,
from.
I don't want nobody to see this. I was like, look at OJ. Look at OJ. You know, dummy ended up right back in. I said,
Yeah.
Johnny is rolling over in his grave. Look at Bill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he went back into his childhood was very interesting. I understand that he was affluent, right? He came from an affluent family, right? Down near in Louisiana, right?
Who, Johnny?
Yeah. This was not a poor family.
Shreveport.
From what I'm gathering, I'm not taking it that he came from poverty, um, which is good. I mean, I haven't done any extensive research, but the way that he explained his own childhood, that didn't come up.
Right.
He did go to all white school, so he would be quote unquote gifted, good enough to go, um, good enough to be there. He made it plain that he had good relationships during his childhood, even with like playing football and stuff, and um, his sisters are smart too. They were able to go to college, and they were all college graduates, so that's good. And then the countless celebrities who he had to defend and got off. The era for that came to a close when he died. Just saying.
Right.
Just noting that because now it's like damn near impossible. They locking us up left and right. They don't even care if you in Hollywood or not. You're going to jail. So, so yeah. And I know people be like, saying that they killed Johnny, so that he just didn't die from any brain tumor, that they actually killed him. But that's people speculate on that. I find it fishy too.
They killed him.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I ain't
yeah, you
speculating
can't
about
you can't be defying the
that. Right.
judiciary. Please, you cannot be using their loopholes against them. You can't do it. So
It
one guy
don't matter.
commented. Hmm?
It don't matter about getting criminals off. That don't mean nothing. That's like that's whatever. That's a few dollars, whatever. When you say you're going to sue the United States government for reparations, sue. That's a different situation right there.
Yeah, that's an act of war. People don't
Yeah,
understand
yeah,
that. So
yeah.
yeah, that'd be considered an act of war. Um, People don't understand that. For us, that is not how it will happen. Someone's going to give us something for the wrongs that they have done. No, for us, it won't work that way. We have to go another route. It's another way because we see other people, other nations, other you know, getting the reparation, right? They're getting the monies and stuff. We don't get it. So, and I heard one dummy saying that the welfare is the reparation. I was like, oh goodness. So, you know, like racist remarks like that. So, but yeah, Johnny was all powerfully defending Michael Jackson, right? So that's a big deal. I don't know if I can still be heard, but
Can you hear me?
now I can. Was I supposed to? How long was I supposed to hear you?
Uh,
Because I don't
that's,
know.
I had a dream speech, and they didn't want to
Yeah, I
hear me.
couldn't tell if I could be heard or anything. So,
I heard you. That's how I know
oh,
you heard me. So, yeah.
oh, okay.
Oh well, maybe next time. I'll save it. I'll save it for the tribute.
Okay.
Johnny Cochran and Nat Turner.
He defended a lot of the wickedness. He got them. Look, they need to thank Johnny
You need to thank Johnny.
because the guy in the documentary said that he knew the law inside and out. So that just lets me know that um he knew how to play the game. So, and that's not an easy thing. So and
Right.
being able to interpret law in a way and then using it again. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not an easy thing. And there are a lot of bad lawyers out there too because they just can't get it together.
Hmm.
Like,
Nat
how many
Turner.
cases have you won, sir? You know what I'm saying? Ask those questions. How many cases have you won? Give me your references.
Yeah.
Because his list was, I said, dang, I mean, he defended Tupac. I
Yeah.
don't know what kind of trouble Tupac could be possibly get into, but let me see who was the worst. I'm trying to think from everybody they presented who could be. The worst would be OJ, and he got OJ off.
Right.
So I would think that would be like the
And he
most
went back.
important one. Yeah,
Got him
yeah,
off
because
and he
that
went
was
back.
because he's silly. Yeah, because he's silly.
He was running with Steve Copeland, Dr. Collar, and he still went back. He went back
Yeah, he's
again.
just silly.
like, I mean, like
It was destined for him to go to. Johnny wasted his time. That's oh boy. But how you get a high profile so-called African American off of a murder charge like that? Very high profile.
right,
It's a white woman.
right.
If he didn't do it and they accusing him of doing it, that should be like
And he's
language
still
for
alive.
black men to not even deal with any white women, right? But if I was a black man, I'd be afraid to be in a room alone with a white woman. Like I wouldn't even go. I wouldn't even. Mm-mm. Nope. 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 But I don't know what's going on there. This is the glove y'all found. Guess what? It don't fit. Brilliant. That's what got him off. Brilliant. It was like, okay, we're gonna have to like if this happens again, we cannot be finding gloves, okay? But I was in summer school when that trial was going on. This we supposed to be doing schoolwork. We watched the trial the whole time.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was doing that summer because I failed English. If you don't know, my high school was very challenging, and ninth grade was just the hardest thing ever. You know, like I had not experienced school like that ever, and I failed that English course, and I had to go to summer school, and that's what we did all summer. My teacher didn't teach anything. We watched Johnny Cochran go to work. So that was like a memorable um, summer for me. So I remember like it was yesterday how that went down. So yeah. That was the only bad part. Having to go to summer school, that was just ugh. I never did that again. My high school was no joke. Okay,
I was
so
I went to summer school for absolutely nothing.
oh, I was too through.
I went there. I passed that summer school. They said, "Oh, you go to summer school, you can just make it to the ninth grade." Shit, I did a whole nother year.
There were no black teachers in my school, and my school was dead up in the hood, straight up in the middle of the hood. My high school. I should have got out of there while I could. Like after ninth grade, I should have just went to public school. But anyway, I like to insert that because I'm still like bitter about that. But I also remember the case, so watching that the whole entire summer because my summer school teacher was like, "I need to watch this, and y'all gonna be quiet and y'all gonna watch this," and we watched it. And I mean, it went on all day long too. It wasn't even like a couple hours. I mean, it was all day long for the entire summer. This case was no joke.
That was a year long. In
Yeah, I
his
mean, it
close,
was no joke.
his closing argument, it was a year and a day.
Mhm. Yep. Because all summer we had. I'm like, oh my god, when is this gonna end? I mean, it was literally, and everybody was tuned in. Like everybody was all in. That was like the talk of the year. They was like, oh, he can't possibly get off. That's a whole white woman. And and when he got off, black people was like you remember. I know you remember when Obama became president. It was like that
Hmm.
for the black community. Yep, we
Right.
ain't kill that white. Boop, F that white. Boop. That's what
Right.
real disrespectful, right? That's what they would call it.
Yeah.
But that
I
was
was
a
in the
big deal.
criminal justice degree program, and they hate mentioning that shit. They every time they bring that shit up, they look and see how many black people are around before they start talking.
Mhm. 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 I mean,
I
he
was like,
did the
oh,
inevitable.
don't,
Like,
I'm like, oh, don't get tight lipped because I'm in this motherfucker. Say what you want to say. Go ahead.
but I mean, like, not to like change off of the subject or anything. I just wanted to like kind of focus in on his relationship. The woman he was married to and everything. Like people would say, like he left his wife and he married this white woman. Do you think it's because his wife didn't fit in with Hollywood? It didn't fit in because this is what I'm thinking. Like when they run down that whole list of black male celebrities, you don't see them with black women, and it's because in their circles there just isn't any black women there. Because if you see the black female celebrities, you don't see them chilling with white people in the in their industry. You just don't. They kind of congregate on to themselves. Um, and that's what I've noticed. Like they just don't fit in. And I remember like one of these basketball wives or whatever would say that most of these parties is just full of like white people, and they feel like kind of out of place being there. That it's just not. They're just not there. So black men have a tendency to marry from that because that's what they're exposed to now. They have moved into a different class. So and this is where it's acceptable. So wherever they go, it'll be accepted because the woman they're with is accepted, and it makes them acceptable, right? So it has to do with uh, uh, that kind of culture, right? So this
Socialization.
is how OJ ends up with his second wife, right?
Yeah, socialization.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're on you since you uh, were a child. They watched you since you were 5 years old. You don't make it to the NFL, the NBA, any of those things, any place in the entertainment industry with any kind of anything, if they wasn't watching you since you were a child.
And we can verify that just by Disney alone, the child actors and stuff, just by that
Right.
alone, and as well as other documentation. Because I had somebody try to challenge me, saying, "How would they do that? Why would they put children, black children in surveillance? Well, that doesn't make any sense." Well, I mean, it's documents in our history. I can show it to you. So yes, it does exist. So when people start
Yeah, they watch
talking,
you. They watch. They not only watch us, but they watch them. You
right?
see what I'm saying? So they
Hmm.
like they come from wherever. Like, who you think like the military recruiters come to your school? Where you think they came from? So they come in your area. Who you think they came from? Like out of nowhere, they just roll the dice and say, "Oh, recruit over here." No, it been like there's maps for that shit. Like that's why there's car lots. That's why there's liquor stores. They know all the shit. Like they put the shit there in place, like right strategically in these particular places, in these in these neighborhoods on purpose. So they know. Just like the school to prison pipeline, they say, "Oh, that's true," but you don't see anything else is true. Like you don't see you don't see any of this other stuff that's true. That's rough.
Well, you do know that. I know that you do know that there's people that will walk that will tell you that you're crazy for saying that. That just does not happen.
Right.
Um, yeah, there's people they can't believe that would like that takes a lot of energy. Yeah, you saw it in the movie Creed. They trained that man trained he trained his son from the time he was a young little boy all the way up to get back at. Okay? So, yeah, they put a lot of time, effort, energy, resources into whatever it is they feel like, is a threat to them. And this is what they do. And they pass it on to their children. And then they pass it on to their children. And that's just how it goes. Well, Sass, that just doesn't make any sense. You're making it. I'm not making that up. It's just a fact. When people talk about enemies, it's like, oh, somebody you don't like. No, mm-mm. These are generational enemies. I don't know if you need to like name them like that. Like, what is an enemy? Like, if you had to define what an enemy was, like, what is an enemy? To try to explain it to someone, because they're looking at it as like somebody you have gotten in a fight with, somebody you don't, or you just don't like. I feel like it goes deeper than that. It does. So if someone sees you as an enemy, they're gonna try to do all that they can to try to eliminate you, right? So this is how I see it when I read documentation that says so that they watch your sons from the time that they're born, all the way up till they're adults. This is written. I know it sounds like weird. It is very creepy and weird, but it's a real thing. Like, why would somebody do that? Because they're creeps. I don't know. I wouldn't know. I'm not them. I wouldn't know. But I feel like this is something that we should do as well. Keep your eye on them. And this is what I do. Like, keep your eye on everybody. So when they do the switch move, you'll know right away, right?
Yep.
That's called surveillance. If make it easier on you. That's called surveillance, and that and intelligence and all that other stuff. That's a form of defense, and every nation has that. And it is a 24/7 operation, lifetime, upon generation passed down, passed down, passed down. So, anywho, I don't want to say it again, but that movie was horrible. Um, but
Say it
shout out
again.
to Johnny. They try to humanize that demon at the end. I was too through. I was like, oh my god, he loved his mommy. His mommy left, and he's now having a emotional breakdown. He was raised to be strong. I mean, and then all of a sudden, his mommy. He was raised as a soldier. Get out of here. That was another contradiction. What did you think about that? He was raised a certain way or whatever, but at the end he's emotional. I know you talked about it a little bit in your analysis, but you didn't really go into it that far. But isn't that crazy? That's weird.
Yeah, and it was fake. Like
Very
that.
fake. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way. Like one thing I could say that shit would have never happened because if that guy that Ivan Drago was a fucking military officer. He wasn't
Right.
just like some regular Joe.
Mhm.
And he lost to Rocky, he would either been in prison or he would been killed. There wouldn't have been no
Mhm.
son. He would have killed his whole family, or he would have took his own life, like to restore honor. Like you know what I'm saying? Like in them kind of places, suicide there's a fucking level of they don't look down cowardly at suicide in these other places. And Russia is one of them places. You take your life, you restore the honor. That's an Asiatic nation. So it was just interesting to see that. And even what was it? Rocky was it 4? They got up and they started cheering and clapping for them. They would have never did no shit like that. You know, an Italian over a Russian, shit wouldn't happen. So just that blatant contradiction to all of a sudden to come out of this drugged up stupor that you in to have compassion to see a child. Like that's just nuts. Like no way. No way.
Yep.
Yeah. The attempt to humanize. That's a good point. Because that's my subject for this month. Psychological detriment of humanizing your enemy. Yeah. No way. Throwing in no towel or none of that shit. You're not gonna win like that. You can't even take that as a win. He gets to leave out of the ring, and your father was carried out. He gets to walk out. Your father he's carried out. He's dead. Supposed to avenge your father. It's crazy. That's that part where they be talking about, well, we're not like them. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. See, Minister Society. We going out there. We gonna shoot every motherfucker. I don't care who out there.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Let your enemy leave. Let him leave out the ring, not in the body bag.
Yeah, he wanted to. He went to. Well, what? Right. Well. Drago wanted his son to kill Kree's son, like he killed his father. That was weird. Just so that he can get back into the family or whatever,
Right.
to get his status back, because he had to go live in the Ukraine. And if you know what that means, damn, he was banished. Hell wants to go to Ukraine. Like, it's awful. Um, because they call it what, Mother Russia, like it's the best thing on the planet, right? So
Right.
if they kick you out of there, that's a problem. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find part one because it wasn't on Hulu. Only Creed 2 was. And where do they do that at? If you go to like another country or something, where do they let you have a really nice intro like that? Like you know, like where
Right.
they, his entrance was second too. It's supposed to be
Right.
first. Like I'm like, okay, that's backwards. So that just adds to me not liking the movie, but you know,
The intro
so
was
with the
very
girl
long.
singing,
Yeah, that was it.
yeah, with the girl, I'm not gonna even criticize her music, but that music was off.
She deaf.
The genre of music was throwing me off. I'm like, what kind of music is that? There ain't nothing a sister would, you have like a little bit of groove in it.
Yeah.
Anything a real sister sing got some groove in it. Look at Macy Gray, got some groove in her music. It is different, but
Yeah.
there's some groove. But this chick,
Yeah. That's a real thing.
I'm like, yeah, I'm like, what's going on here? But I don't even want to touch that. I don't even want to touch that because we know what that is already. But it was nice to see Felicia Rashad up in there. I was like,
Right.
yes, yes, a major film like that finally. And she knew the girl was pregnant before the girl knew she was pregnant.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have that gift to be knowing the people are like that, but they black moms. And he didn't have any friends. That was weird. Did he have friends in the first one?
No.
Is that a little bit odd or no? Is that okay for that movie?
Well, that's perfect. He grew up in the group home, aka prison. That's like just growing up in foster care system. So he grew up in prison. You don't want to be around nobody. You won't form no relationships from that place. Tyson came from group home. Same shit. So, like, even with his life, he grew up like that in the group homes. And Customado seen him, and snatch them out of the group homes. You know, it don't matter where you are, where we are. Somebody always on the fucking hunt and looking, lurking. You know what I'm saying? One of these bastards looking to snatch you up out of those places. The whole show, what was that show? In Different Strokes. Same shit, right? Fucking dude doing with these black children from Harlem. You know what I mean? Like it's just that kind of shit, the Webster shit, like all that shit. Like, what are they doing with this stuff? Like it's all, you know, these are all of the stories that these were supposed to be fun, loving stories. Yeah, it was crazy just to see that. Mike from Brooklyn, he upstate New York, and it's just it's interesting. Charts a type of behavior pattern to where they can control that rage and unleash it on who they say unleash it on. That's why they're there. Wait. The story that they told about Muhammad Ali was that somebody took his bike and he walked into the boxing gym. Interesting.
Yeah. And you said Nat Turner, right?
Yes, that Turner Day.
Yeah.
Great day. That's a story too.
Mhm.
Yes. There's two versions to that story. But
Oh.
one one is one that we'll go with.
What's the wrong story? I don't think I've heard the wrong one.
Well, there's two stories that his family tells, but
Oh, his
you know,
family tell. Oh, I thought there was
yeah,
one
his
somebody
family
made
tells.
up.
Yeah, his family's got another story, and then there's the story that's out there, and the story that's out there, you know, that's good enough. But there's a story that his descendants, his family knows. That's a different story. Both of them is good with me. You know, whenever our enemies die, we die, however many of them die, that's always great. So that's the main part of the story. That's the creed I live by right there. Yeah, that's beautiful. So remembering him on his day, you know, on his 220th birthday. The math was like, pow. Oh,
I don't like those names. I meant to tell you. I meant to say that. And Adonis, it's Greek, and Apollo is Roman, right? So I think Apollo is Rome, right? Those names there.
both
They're both Greek. Apollo is a Greek god. Okay. Same thing.
same thing, right?
I you know like I never liked the name Apollo, for him. But they're using it as far as what the description of what that god was, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
to kind of explain the character there. Um, so So what Sylvester Stallone did was magnify um, Apollo Creed as to be something massive, which is a good thing, I would say. But then he beat that big thing. You know what I'm saying? That massive thing, right? He beat Apollo Creed, right?
He fought Apollo Creed twice, and
Hmm. And he beat
both
him
times
the second time, right?
was questionable. He got to his feet before him. That's not a win. You don't win like that. That's all it was.
Mm.
If you beat a guy, how does he teach you how to fight? What can he teach you?
Yeah, that was done on purpose. This is why I didn't like the names. They should just, been racist, outright racist, just named him Tyrone
Right,
Creed or
right.
something,
That was like that's why I Sugar Hill was it.
Yeah.
This for never calling me nigga.
Hmm.
One of the greatest movies, man, I'm telling you. Came in there, shot everybody up. Everybody. Even that old bastard. Like I just loved it. Like, he just saved it for last. Like it didn't mean nothing. Like he came in there like like they had some tough shit going on. They threw everybody away. Like who came in Jason's lyrics. He's like, I'm getting tired of you telling me I'm fucking up. I handled that shit. Kill everybody over that bitch. Like the fuck in there. This is like, all right. Oh, that.
Oh well. I'm not gonna say it again. I'm just keep that to myself.
Just say it one more time for the record. Just
The
do
movie was terrible.
222. Tell them. Shit. Yeah.
I don't think am I sure that Sylvester Stallone did this? Because this is a fighting movie, and he's kind of iconic when it comes to this thing. But this, mm-mm. Michael B. Jordan, a whole baby, and his mama told that girl, "Oh well, he's got to come out. He a grown man, so he got to come out of his own nonsense." You know,
Cause she
that
seen him
pouting and
already.
being mad and huh?
His daddy already with that shit. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
how many times did she have to do that? You know?
Mhm.
And this is why she told him, like, you know how many times I had to carry him up these stairs? And that was part one, I think she told him that, though. He said he wanted to fight. I did like that part, though. Like, it was like a little small part, it was like 10 seconds where they had, like, a black moment. That was it. Like a little 10-second black moment. He went to her and said he was going to fight him. And she looked at him and she ain't say nothing negative. She told him, you better win. I'm like, God damn. You know what I'm saying? After all that shit, everything and blah, 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 him acting like a whole bitch and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like all that. That black woman still
Yep.
was right there. But I don't know if she was black. She looked like a mixie, but I'm saying like the black woman was still there. Like
Look like you heard her music.
she was deaf in the movie.
That was more than death. The only good part of that movie was the only good part about that movie was the first fight. He kicked his. Oh man, I was like, ooh, it was great. That fight scene was great. That a second one. That was horrible.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like like that's the carryover from part one. And he actually fought a boxing dude. Like he's like a boxing coach
Oh
and
no
shit.
no no
I like,
no. Let me take that back. Not the very first one when he was fighting the brother. I'm talking about when he fought the Russian. The one where he was getting his
oh,
butt kicked. The one that put him in the hospital. I was like, dang. That's what I'm saying. Like when you were saying he didn't touch him, it was like he wasn't touching him. But all of a sudden he can touch him in a second. Like I don't. But yeah, that was a good fight scene. I like that.
yeah, they show him discombobulated, afraid, trying to fight off rage and all that shit. Like he just laughed. Like this shit, like he laughed like Inchidaka, is this your king? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this your
Yep,
king.
sure did. But he was getting him in the ribs. He was killing him in his ribs. Like uh, I think that was a illegal move. That's what they were saying. It was illegal. I don't know, but he messed him up. Like, and he played that role really good because it looked like he was really in pain. Good actor. I would, Michael B. Jordan, very good actor.
He probably actually broke his ribs. Dolph Lundgren broke Sylvester Stallone. They had one real boxing scene where they actually was punching each other and he broke his fucking ribs. So I'm sure.
Did they? I know you watched the making of it, right?
Mhm.
What did Michael B. Jordan say about the training for that?
He said that movies at the same time. Like they shot Black Panther and Creed 2 at the same time. So he said it was like a crazy switch, like a 180 switch. Like he gained weight for in Shadaka's role, and then he had to lose weight to get into boxing shape. Like he was in martial arts shape over here and then boxing shape over here. So like that joint was, he said that was crazy.
They were showing how the Russian was training. I was getting hyped because they had a part where they were mixing calisthenics with ballistics, and I was like, oh my god,
Yeah,
like wow, like I was loving it. He was going into the push up, he was doing the jump push up with the
right.
ropes. Like that's badass. Okay, it just is, and I thoroughly enjoyed that watching that in the
Yeah, that
weighted
shit
ball
got
throwing and stuff like that. I
yeah.
love ballistics. Absolutely love it. And the rope work. Love it, love it, love it. Talking about burning arms. Oh my goodness. So that's some serious training. And Creed didn't train like that at all in that movie. And you saw with Rocky and Drago when they were doing it, they were training just as hard as each other though when in their movie.
Right.
But it wasn't the same in this one for some odd reason.
Well, I think he got pushed to his depths though, like that. He's out there banging that sledgehammer into the earth. He's up there getting, them broken, bruised ribs that never heal, bashed with the damn that damn medicine ball from hell. I ain't never seen a
Yeah, they
medicine
was
ball
hitting it,
like
they was
that.
hitting
Like
them with it.
then,
Hmm.
yeah, and he has to take that fucking heart to the body shot from whatever wherever they grew that thing that was in the middle of the ring
You
with that
you
foot in the
saw
tire.
they hung that weight from his head. I said, what is that? I said, is this slavery all over again? Is this chattel slavery? I mean, he had the axe, he's beating it into the ground, then he has this contraption on his head. I said, this is slavery. But
That's to build up your neck. Like that's a real thing.
yeah, I know, but I mean, mm, I didn't like the way it looked.
Your neck muscles, I guess it helps your jaw. Don't if you got a glass jaw, ain't nothing gonna help your chin no matter what you do. You
Chewing
understand?
chewing builds your jaw.
Your
They didn't have
chin.
they and your chin. You don't have to like
I'm saying
help
you
make a
if you get punched in
contraption.
the chin and you don't got no good chin, you going out. I don't care what you doing.
You
You could
could
be
tap
chewing.
anybody on the chin and they're gonna fall out. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it ain't no exercise for your chin.
I'm good
That's
at
why I
it.
used to be laughing at them people in the
Yeah.
gym and shit. I'm like, ain't none of that helping your chin.
You could look,
None of
you
it.
tap it in the right place, you knock anybody out.
Right.
You rock that whole skull and boom, you're on the floor. It's a
Them,
nerve in there.
them Samoan skulls, you could forget about it. You're gonna break your fucking
Yeah,
knuckle.
I just didn't like that contraption. It just looked weird to me. It looked like chattel slavery to me. Like it looked very it looked like cultural appropriation to me. Like that's all. I'm just saying. That's just my observation.
I
It's
agree.
probably not that way, but
No, I'm saying I agree. And
hmm
that's one of those parts that bring another part out of you. Just looking, just seeing that shit. And then, he was running with that mask on and, you know,
hmm
he trying to outrun the car. It's just the little bit of extra shit. Like they just was there and they put the little that final run, give it all you got last, type of shit. Like they they try to keep it rocky.
Oh my God! Now it's coming back to me. Not ballistics dynamics. I'm thinking about. Never mind. I'm thinking about the wrong. I strike that from the record. My bad. I saw the range today. That's all I'm saying. I was like, I need to go in whatever. They testing you for alcohol up in the like. It's getting crazy in the range. Like you got to make an appointment. Never mind. This COVID is messing with survival skills right now. You know, trying to get your skills up, trying to maintain your skills. It's messing with that. So I'm sorry, I had that on the brain. I meant to say dynamics.
That's all good.
So
Did we give them an extra 44 minutes? Is we done? Is we finished or is we done? Wrap?
I got a baby shark in my presence. Just acting a fool, a whole fool right now. So,
Q Shalom.
huh?
Q Shalom.
Oh, my bad. Shalom.